What you're about to see is behind the scenes of a well-intentioned video crew attempting to film a situation where deadly yellow jackets swarm from an underground nest and attack an unsuspecting person at work. Let's watch as one of the crew stirs up the underground nest.
They don't like that camera. See if you grab that camera before it drops. Stop, Tate. Watch it!
Now that's a gotcha in anybody's book. But anytime you pull a gotcha, there's a good chance you could end up the loser in the process. It all depends on how you approach the situation. So, what's a gotcha? G-O-T-C-H-A. It's a gamble on the chance he'll attack. Gotchas that involve stinging insects can be humorous, or sometimes they can be very serious or even deadly if you forget to think ahead on the job. Here are several true-life stories direct from telephone technicians about different work situations with a few tips on the insects that are likely to attack on the job. I think you'll identify with each of these gotchas.
I was in the process of climbing a pole, and we opened a lot of closures in order to splice cable and to cut in new terminals and everything. And if you're not careful, when you open an old closure, these wasps build nests in areas such as this right here, and they'll just come out and you don't have anywhere to go. You're sitting on that pole and you can't drop because you're going to hurt yourself. So you either get stung or yell for a buddy to bring you some wasp spray. You try to just stay still, you know, and let them fly around you. But when you're sweating a lot, you know, you're just plain scared.
Of all the things that can come between you and your job, there are several you really need to know about. Let's start by talking about wasps. A wasp nest is small in the spring and grows larger throughout the summer. Nests are usually tucked away in shaded areas and inside sheltered equipment and are not easily seen. During warm days, many of the wasps and yellow jackets are out foraging for food, but at dusk they return. On cool days, wasps can congregate on top of the nest, sometimes out of sight. There are always guards defending the nest, and when disturbed, they release an alarm pheromone. This pheromone is a chemical that alerts others on the nest to attack. Wasp spray, when used correctly, kills the guards quickly, so they do not have the time to release the alarm pheromone. So returning foragers that are not on alert will become confused and fly away. Do not attempt to swat returning wasps or yellow jackets. This may cause them to attack. Always look for wasps, yellow jackets, or hornets swarming out of sheltered equipment or near adjacent nesting sites. Tap the equipment lightly and look for emerging insects. In this situation, yellow jackets swarmed out when the ladder hit the cable. To prevent stings while spraying, protect exposed skin. Be sure to always start with several full cans. In these situations, you don't want to run out. Sometimes aerosol cans can lose pressure when exposed to extreme heat or extended storage, so give the spray a short burst away from the nest as an added precaution. Then be sure the wind is blowing in the direction you are going to spray. When you encounter wasps or yellow jackets nesting in equipment, first look for an entrance hole. Spray in that hole. Then carefully open and continue spraying until all insects are unable to fly. To avoid falling wasps, do not stand directly beneath the nest. Remember to begin by spraying the nest liberally to contact as many wasps as possible. On large nests, some wasps will be behind the nest and cannot be reached with the spray. These will fly away because they received little or no spray. Remove the nest from the immediate work site because foraging wasps will try to return to the nest. Be sure to inspect for corrosion and damaged conductors. Wasps, as well as other insects, can chew the insulation from conductors, resulting in corrosion or interrupted service. There are a couple of things you need to know about hornets. They are larger than wasps and yellow jackets and are black with yellow or white marks. As you can see here, this hornet's nest is well hidden and contains several hundred hornets. Therefore, hornets should be removed by a professional. Be aware, hornets' nests may be difficult to see because they blend well with surrounding vegetation. Caution, Hornets are very aggressive. Do not attempt to remove the nest yourself. Call a professional.
I'm a lineman. I was working out in the country one day and had to call of nature, and so I took to the woods. And next thing I knew, I stepped up and took my foot off a yellow jacket's nest, and they chased me out of the woods, and I came back loaded with 2 cans of wasp spray and got them all. But it was a scary experience, I'm telling you.
Let's start here by talking more about yellow jackets. Yellow jackets are small with black and yellow stripes. As many as 5,000 may be in one nest. Yellow jackets normally build their nests in the ground or in a depression, such as that left by a rodent's nest, so they're really hard to see right away. So look around. They may also be found inside utility poles and equipment, aerial and buried. They can get in almost anywhere. For example, yellow jackets nested in this closure through a hole made by a squirrel. Let's now discuss a treatment in the ground. Again, always have several cans of spray available. Remember to check each can before spraying, and remember to cover exposed skin. At any time, whether at work or at home, as shown here, as you approach any in-the-ground situation, begin spraying with a sweeping motion while walking toward the entrance hole. This will kill yellow jackets guarding the entrance before they can alert others to an intruder. Then, from a safe distance, direct the spray into the entrance hole. Larger nests may have more than one entrance, so look for them. Immediately after spraying, cap the nest entrance with a large rock or block of wood. Like wasps, the foraging yellow jackets returning to the nest will become confused after a few minutes and will eventually fly away.
Well, we were going down to Bibb County and to hang what we call an H fixture to mount an RT cabinet and power cabinet. Got our RT cabinet hung up on the thing. Well, in the bottom of this RT cabinet, you got to drive what we call hard heads or drive screws, and they're about as big as your finger to keep it in place. Well, as big as I am, they ain't but 16 inches clearance from the bottom of that thing to the ground, so I have to lay down to do that. Well, I get down there and I'm driving this thing in there. Also, this bumblebee comes flying around. Well, you know, I swat at it. Well, it left. Well, I commenced to hitting it again. Well, he come back. He gets in my beard. And I swatted again. I thought I got it. Well, I didn't get it. I guess I just made him mad. He went around. He left for a minute or two. And I started nailing my thing again. This sucker comes back around, comes up under that thing where I was at. No way to move, no way to run. And comes right up this left nostril. There's not much, you know, there ain't much way to get a bumblebee out of the inside of your nose. But he stung me, and about the only way I could get him out, I just squeezed him and pulled him out.
Let's continue by talking about bumblebees. Bumblebees are large, black, yellow, and hairy bees. Their nests are usually located in the ground, in pine straw, in mulch, and in piles of old lumber. Bumblebees can be very difficult to control because their nests are so hard to find. But when you do find one, treat the nesting area with the same procedure as a yellow jacket's nest. Now let's continue on with another hidden situation, and honeybees. Honeybees are relatively small, hairy, and yellowish-brown in color. Honeybee nests, or hives, are usually found in beekeeper white box hives, and occasionally in a wall space or tree hollow. Honeybees are rarely found nesting in utility equipment. However, if a nest is found, it should be removed by a professional. And by the way, a honeybee sting is different than a wasp, yellow jacket, or hornet. When a honeybee stings, its stinger is left in the skin. Do not grab the stinger. This will only squeeze more venom into the wound. Flick or scrape the stinger from the skin without squeezing the poison sac. Never rub the area of the sting. This will only quicken the flow of venom into the bloodstream and enlarge the irritated area.
I climbed a pole to work in a terminal, a 25-pair hard terminal, and when I opened the terminal up, there was a yellow jackets, not a yellow jackets, but a wasp nest, probably about 15 or 20 in there, and before I could get to the ground, they stung me, I think, 6 times, all around the face and stuff like that.
And that's the only time I've ever really been stung at work, but once is bad enough.
What'd you do?
Well, I hurt. I hurt a lot. That's what you do when they get stung.
When a yellow jacket, hornet, wasp, or bee stings, it injects its venom under the skin. Now, the venom contains amino acids and chemicals which cause the release of histamine locally from the cells of the body. When histamine is released, it causes swelling and tenderness in that, and itching in that area that may last for several days. Now, the reactions to stings can be varied and have been classified by allergists as a normal reaction, a local, large local reaction, a toxic reaction, and a generalized allergic reaction. With a normal reaction, you will feel some pain and experience some swelling in that area that will last for several hours. This will be followed by the area feeling hot and itchy. With a large local reaction, a large amount of swelling can occur and last for several days. Now, the limbs can even become completely swollen. With this type of reaction, if a sting occurs on the face or in the throat, this could be very serious. Secondary infections can also result from a sting causing further complications. Now, a toxic reaction can occur when a person receives more than one sting. With a toxic reaction, you need to be alert for symptoms such as headache, fever, fatigue, diarrhea, vomiting, unconsciousness, muscle spasms, or even convulsions. A generalized allergic reaction can vary from only slight to serious shock. The symptoms experienced with this type of reaction can range from a dry hacking cough, a feeling of chest or throat constriction, rapid pulse, blood pressure dropping, a feeling of impending disaster or doom, losing control of the bowel or bladder, dizziness, confusion, or even unconsciousness. Now, these latter signs indicate severe shock.
Under certain circumstances, you should take emergency action. Take action if you know you are allergic to stings, or if you receive multiple stings, or if you are stung on the face, lips, or throat area, or if you feel any sensation other than localized swelling. Taking action is important. Death may occur in only 10 to 30 minutes after being stung. An allergic reaction. Anyone suffering from an allergic reaction should seek medical assistance immediately. Check with your supervisor for proper procedure. If you know that you are allergic to stings, consider wearing a Medic Alert bracelet or necklace. A Medic Alert tag identifies the wearer as being allergic to bee stings or other conditions, such as being epileptic or a diabetic. If you are allergic, tell your supervisor. Your doctor may also prescribe an allergic reaction kit, also known as an anaphylaxis emergency treatment kit. Fire ants build nests inside and adjacent to equipment. A fire ant sting is usually not severe. However, some people may be highly allergic to the venom of the fire ant. If you are allergic to fire ant stings and are stung, follow the procedures indicated for wasp and bee stings. Remember, even if you are not allergic, secondary problems can occur, such as infection around the sting site. A leading university has devised a treatment procedure addressing fire ants in the work area. Using the mound probe, fire ants can be rendered harmless, allowing access to the work area in under 5 minutes. When treating buried telephone equipment, take the following steps. Spray the entire perimeter of the ant mound. Using the fire ant probe, break up the mound, exposing active ants. Holding the fire ant probe about 2 inches from active ants, spray with a topical application of wasp spray. Using the fire ant probe, penetrate the ant mound. Begin spraying immediately after penetration and continue while pushing the probe downward as far as possible. Spray also while removing the probe. Extremely large mounds may require a topical application after probing if live ants are visible after the preceding step.
I had to crawl on my back to get under the trailer, and I was underneath it hammering rings underneath, and I saw something drop on my stomach. I looked down and saw a black widow spider. Well, naturally, I looked up to see where he had come from, and there was a nest with about 3 or 4 more up there.
One of the most dangerous spiders is the black widow. The black widow spider is identified as being jet black with 2 reddish triangular markings joined to form an hourglass shape on the underside of the abdomen. Spiders can be hidden under or around structures and inside equipment. Therefore, it is a good idea to look around for signs of webs. If spiders are present, spray the infested area with the approved wasp spray. Remove the spider and webs. If bitten by a black widow spider, seek emergency aid as soon as possible. Remember, with all pesticides, read the label and follow directions. Cover exposed skin to prevent stings. Look for insects when approaching and opening equipment. Remember that on cool days, wasps can hide on top of the nest out of view. Do not attempt to treat a hornet's or honeybee's nest. Call a professional. After using pesticides, wash your hands before eating, drinking, or smoking. Seek emergency treatment if you are allergic to bee or fire ant stings, if you receive multiple stings, if you are stung on the face, lips, or throat area, if you feel any sensation other than localized swelling, or if you are bitten by a black widow spider. Be aware. Think ahead on the job. There are a couple of other things to keep in mind. Only use approved pesticides. Unapproved wasp sprays may cause stress cracking of plastics, which allows moisture to enter equipment, resulting in corrosion to metal component parts. Flying insects are attracted to food, cosmetics, light yellow and blue colors. They are less attracted to colors and shades of tan and white. Personal insect repellents are not effective against these insects. Except for spiders, each of the insects you've seen are social. They live and work together in the same nest, and when disturbed, are capable of delivering a painful and sometimes fatal sting. That's the worst kind of gotcha.
They don't like that camera. Go on that video. See if you can grab that camera before it drops. Stop, Tate. Watch it!